то ответ России будет незамедлительным и приведет вас к таким последствиям, с которыми вы в своей истории еще никогда не сталкивались.
They're intimidating us with the usage of nuclear weapons.
Russia could launch a nuclear attack within months.
Russia has the biggest nuclear arsenal in the world.
Это всего лишь один груз, Борис, а Англии нет.
Putin could use a tactical nuclear weapon.
Russia is already in a position to destroy the world several times over.
Today, humanity is just one misunderstanding, one miscalculation away from nuclear annihilation.
A quiet night over Crimea, the stars shining, and suddenly, the roar of explosions shatters the calm. This is not a movie, it's real. Ukrainian drones, controlled by their special forces, have struck deep inside Russian territory, hitting not one, but 5 fighter jets. The Security Service of Ukraine, known as the SBU, made it clear. This was no ordinary strike. One Su-30SM fighter jet was destroyed, another damaged, and 3 Su-24 bombers were hit. Even the aviation weapons depot didn't survive the attack. Why is this such a big deal? The Su-30SM alone costs 30 to 43 million euros. That's tens of millions of dollars gone in a single night. And these aren't just planes. They are the backbone of Russia's attacks on Ukraine. But the story doesn't end there. This wasn't Ukraine's first daring strike. Over the last few years, Kyiv has been quietly and carefully weakening Russia's ability to dominate the Black Sea and carry out air attacks. Ukraine has destroyed Russian ships, including the Caesar Kunikov landing ship, the Sergei Kotov patrol ship, and the Ivanovets missile corvette. Every time, Russia had to relocate its naval forces. And now, the skies over Crimea are just as unsafe for them. Let's rewind for a moment to June 1st, 2025, when Ukraine carried out what many are calling Operation Spiderweb, one of the most audacious strikes of the war. Ukrainian forces targeted 4 Russian air bases deep inside Russia, using drones cleverly hidden in trucks. Over 18 months, they planned this in secret. 117 drones were launched from mobile control centers close to the targets. The result? Ukrainian sources claim 41 aircraft were damaged, including 2 95 bombers and A-50 surveillance planes, key instruments in Russia's ability to launch long-range attacks. Satellite images later confirmed fire damage, cratered runways, and blast patterns across multiple sites. Some say the losses were catastrophic for Russia. And do you know what? These drones didn't just fly from Ukraine. They were launched inside Russian territory, navigated at treetop level, and flew under the radar of Russian air defenses. The drones were controlled from mobile ground stations, hidden in plain sight inside trucks. Detection systems are built to spot planes from above, but Ukraine found the blind spot: low-level airspace. Suddenly, Russia realized that any country could be vulnerable to a similar strike. Fast forward to more recent events. Ukrainian drones have struck Russian bases in Murmansk, Irkutsk, Ivanovo, Ryazan, and Amur regions, even hitting aircraft in the Murmansk and Irkutsk regions, where FPV drones caused multiple fires. Not a single casualty was reported, but the psychological blow to Russia was enormous. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky praised the attacks as absolutely brilliant. The point was clear: Ukraine can strike deep behind enemy lines with precision and daring. And Crimea continues to be a hot zone. The Saky airbase is crucial for Russia. It's where they launch patrols, long-range strikes, and maintain radar surveillance. Now, it's a symbol of vulnerability. When Ukrainian drones hit the base, they didn't just destroy aircraft, they sent a message. Even a country as powerful as Russia is not invincible. And for the first time, ordinary people around the world could see that modern drone warfare changes the rules completely. But Ukraine isn't just targeting bases. After a long hiatus, the Bayraktar TB2 drones, famous for their early war successes, are back in action. These medium-altitude, medium-endurance drones are small but lethal. Recently, a TB2 destroyed a Russian high-speed boat in the Black Sea, taking out 7 soldiers and wounding 4 more. Imagine watching smoke rise from the waves while the drone camera captures every moment, tracer rounds, fire, shouts echoing over the sea. It's cinematic, but real. Why did the Bayraktars disappear for a while? Russia adapted. They improved electronic warfare and layered air defenses, making large, slow drones extremely vulnerable. But Ukraine didn't give up. They quietly suppressed Russian air defenses, clearing the way for the TB2s to strike again. Today, these drones are not only flying, they're hunting Russian forces with deadly efficiency. And the strategy extends beyond drones. Ukraine has been carrying out CED/dead campaigns. That's suppression or destruction of enemy air defenses. Using guided missiles and intelligence, they take out radar systems and anti-aircraft weapons, creating safe corridors for drones. This isn't just clever, it's a full-on game-changer in warfare. And the stakes? High, because every successful strike means Russian aircraft and supplies are one step closer to total disruption. But here's another layer of the story. Ukraine isn't stopping with the military. Zelensky has vowed to retaliate against Russia's attacks on energy facilities, including the Druzhba oil pipeline, which supplies neighboring countries. Slovakia and Hungary have felt the impact, and Zelensky told them plainly, Ukraine will continue to fight until Russian attacks stop. Think about it. Oil, electricity, military aircraft, every strike hits both soldiers and civilians. The stakes are sky high. But that's not all. Russia has been taking massive losses in both equipment and soldiers. Since January 2024, Russian forces lost over 1,100 armored fighting vehicles, nearly 3,100 infantry vehicles, 300 artillery units, and 1,800 tanks. And fatalities? Russia is on track to hit 1 million casualties by summer 2025. To put it in perspective, that's 5 times the deaths Russia suffered in all wars combined since World War II. And yet, Russian officials, including President Putin, insist they are winning. But the numbers tell a different story. Back to the story of audacious Ukrainian attacks. From Crimea to deep inside Russian territory, Ukraine has blurred the line between its own territory and Russian land. Remember the Crimea bridge attacks? In 2022 and 2023, Ukraine struck this crucial supply route multiple times using trucks and sea drones. The Black Sea Fleet has been repeatedly hit, including command centers in Sevastopol. And even the Kremlin itself experienced drone attacks in May 2023. Though these were disabled by electronic defenses, they were a stark reminder: no place is completely safe. Zelensky also continues to push diplomacy while the war rages. Talks with Turkey aim to secure prisoner swaps and a ceasefire, while simultaneously keeping the pressure on Russia. It's a delicate balance: diplomacy and retaliation, strategy and showmanship. Every strike sends a message. Ukraine will not back down, and the world is watching. Let's not forget the stakes for ordinary people. Energy disruptions, destroyed military equipment, and ongoing attacks remind civilians everywhere that war is messy, unpredictable, and devastating. Ukrainian strikes on oil pipelines, for instance, not only hit Russia economically, they ripple across Europe, showing how interconnected modern conflicts are. Every action has a consequence. And the impact on Russia? Massive. Equipment losses, wounded soldiers, and destroyed aircraft weaken their military's effectiveness. The psychological effect is also huge. Fear, uncertainty, and frustration spread among Russian ranks. Each successful Ukrainian strike is like a stone thrown into a pond. The ripples reach far beyond the battlefield. So, as the smoke clears over Crimea and the Bayraktars fly again over the Black Sea, one question lingers. What will Ukraine target next, and how will Russia respond? The answer is still unfolding, but one thing is certain. Ukraine is bombing without restraint, reshaping the war, and keeping the world on the edge of its seat. What do you think will happen next in this war? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like if you found this shocking, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates.